Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our weekend Q&A. And tonight we're going to talk about using PLR videos to sell as an affiliate. We're basically wanting to think about how to use the videos you already have. Maybe you have PLR courses that you have videos for. Maybe you didn't sell them, and or maybe you just don't necessarily want to build a list in order to sell digital products, and that's fine. PLR videos are very versatile, and they can actually hold people's attention in some ways, or at least some people's attention in ways that sometimes blogs will not. Now, for some people like myself, I probably would read something before I sit down and watch a long video or even a short video. But there are a lot of people out there who would rather or prefer to watch a video rather than actually read through something. And so you want to be able to use your content that you already have. You want to be able to use the content that you purchase, whether or not you choose to sell it or not. And that's what we're going to be talking about, how you're going to be able to do this as an affiliate. So let's go ahead and dive in here. Of course, if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to just kind of chat in the box there. You can. I'm on YouTube, so if you want to just kind of write a question in there, I will see your question. All right. So using PLR videos to sell as an affiliate. Of course, we do have our Microsoft PLR bundle. If you don't have that already, you can pick that up at the plrshow.com/new. If you don't have our Microsoft PLR bundle, or if you didn't get everything in the bundle throughout the during 2018, you can pick up the rest there now. Also, in case you didn't get this, I think that the launch price is going to end tonight. If you want to get the audio content maker, right? So you can put bumpers on your videos. You can do that at the plrshow.com/add to your PLR. Okay. And I think that, again, the launch price for that expires at midnight. Okay. So if you have any general questions, whether it's about this subject or something else, you can write them there in the chat box, and I will get to them as we go along. Other than that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cover this subject of using your videos to promote as an affiliate. Okay, so let's talk about some products in general that you can offer. I want to say here at the outset that if you're gonna undertake this, please make sure that you don't just put the videos on YouTube as is. First of all, you know, as you know, in many cases, YouTube's going to assume that the very first person that posted the video is the one that created the original content, and you don't want to be that person, right? At minimum, make sure you put bumpers on the video, and that's a pretty easy thing for their algorithm to do. Is if somebody puts up a video, it's the exact same length as another one that's been posted already. If somebody puts that video up there before you do, I don't know if they're going to give you a content strike, but again, it's not going to even allow you to upload the video. So before you go through that process, make sure you do what I call bumperize, and that means then add something to the front and or back of that video that makes your video unique. In other words, add something in there that brands that video, or add something in there that gives context to the video, if that's even better, and even gives a call to action to your own website. So if you're going to use YouTube for this strategy, which is to drive people to your influencer store, then again, make sure you add bumpers to your PLR video. Make sure your channel directs to your main URL. Whenever you get a YouTube channel, one of the things you have to do is you have to make sure that the URL that's going to be associated with your YouTube channel, they're going to give you what's called an associated website. Make sure that that's going to be the channel that you're going to be using most of the time. And again, what we're going to be doing with that part of the process is we're going to make sure that we use our redirects to our store with that channel. right? So again, with whatever that website is, make sure it's going to be the one you're going to be using along with your influencer store. All right. Now, whenever you get down to the actual video that you're going to be using, again, I'm assuming you're going to be adding the bumpers. I'm assuming your channel is going to be working correctly. You should be referring to several relevant links throughout the video, right? So in other words, or products is probably a better way to say that. So if you're, let's say, you're using some of our Microsoft PLR videos, you should be telling people at some point whether or not you do it with with some additional things that you edit in there, or at the very beginning or end of the video, that if they want to pick up Microsoft Office 365, that they can do it at the link at which you specify. So that when they click on that link, they'll be taken to your influencer store. Now, once again, please make sure that all these other things are going to be in place. Um, Another thing that you can do is along with the video, whether you do it in the comments to the video or if you're going to be doing it as a course, put together a niche specific guide for each video. So again, for video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, again, this is going to take a little work, but it's going to be worth your time, because after somebody watches that video, they're going to want and need something to click on in order to get what you're teaching them, right? So you can redirect them through the link you set up. But again, it's only going to make sense if you do this in context. And the context is going to make sense if you create a niche specific guide. So in other words, let's say video 1 talks about the fact that, let's say it's a PowerPoint video, it talks about 3D, right? And you're going to give people a link where they can learn more about 3D, or they can get books on 3D, or they can get the PowerPoint program. You want to have for that video a link or a set of links people can click on that will direct people to your influencer store. Um, and again, one of the things that you can do, you don't have to just call it my PDF. Please don't call it just a PDF, right? Nobody wants to click on a PDF. Call it your chapter or segment guide, right? So, I mean, nobody wants to get sold on stuff. And so, I mean, if it's all going to be is just a set of links, people are not gonna bother. But if you call it a segment or a chapter resource guide, where you're really going to be taking your time and you're really going to be thinking through what people are going to need as a result of watching that video, you want them to click on your chapter guide. And again, it's going to work better if you go through the work of creating one for each video. And again, the reason that you need to do this, and it doesn't need to be part of the guide, is again, it needs to be specific to your niche. For example, if you were to apply, let's say, a PLR video for PowerPoint to the CPA marketing niche, that's going to be different than someone who processes that same information for an author. So you need to be the one to put together the guide. Now, again, just because someone gives you one when you get the PLR, it's not necessarily going to make you sales. It's not going to drive people to your influencer store or your affiliate links just because they have the links in there. When you take PLR, you add the value to the PLR, you add the value to the viewer. And if you can be specific on your niche, if you can be specific to your category and drive people to links that are going to be specific, you're going to see more activity. It doesn't necessarily mean everybody's going to buy, but again, the extra work is going to be worth it, so that when people go to your resource guide, they will not dismiss it out of hand. Right now, I'm going to tell you some things that I think you should be including inside your influencer store. Now, we're going to get to this in a minute. I'm going to show it to you, but here's some things you should be including. Now, again, some of this is not going to make sense until you really see it. I've talked about this in some courses that we've done, if you have seen it, but this is going to make more sense when you see it. And I'm going to get to that here in a minute. All right. Now, here's some things you can include. Make sure that now this is not necessarily in your influencer store unless you figure out how to get it into Amazon. Again, there are ways for you to be able to do that. For example, if you want to recreate your PLR and you want to create it as a digital product and you want to make it into a physical product, you can include that inside of your influencer store as long as it is for sale in Amazon. Right. So if you can get your PLR into a form where you can sell it on Amazon, and you can do that through the Amazon Advantage program. So in other words, you can take content that is not necessarily originally yours, You can have the license to use that content if you go through the Amazon the Amazon Advantage program. You can include those things inside your influencer store. That is a way for you to be able to take your PLR, to remake it, and to place it on Amazon. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to ask. Now, make sure that anything that you have for sale on Amazon is going to be on there. So, for example, if you have services that you're going to, if you have services, right, that you're offering, and again, Amazon has some services that you can actually offer on their website. Make sure those are inside your influencer store. If you have coaching and it's in a digital format, again, if it's in a DVD format, or if you have it on Amazon PLR Video, Amazon Video Direct, that should be inside of your influencer store. Now, one of the benefits of having your products inside your influencer store is that you are going to get the commission for not only driving people to your store as an associate, but you're also going to get the commission that comes, or the actually not even the commission, you're going to get the money, right, that comes with selling your product on Amazon, right? So whatever you're selling. So again, if you have products that you were launching and they are on Amazon, make sure those things are inside of your influencer store. Now, if you're going to be doing this, remember this strategy is part of just kind of leveraging what Amazon already does. Because if somebody's actually clicking on your link, they're buying something that you have on your store, more than likely they're going to find something else that they're going to buy on Amazon. You're going to get credit for a lot of that sale. Right now, I want you to carefully consider a few things here. And when you do this and you're offering your affiliate products and consumer products, I want to kind of say you should be careful when you start thinking about adding in these things, because this is you are, and let me get to this. You still need to focus on building your business. You still need to focus on building your list. And I want to say this at the outset, and I'm going to touch on this a little bit in a minute, but sending traffic to Amazon does not build your business. It will make you money. It will make you sales. Now, again, just about you're going to get between 4 and 6% of everything, and the likelihood that people are going to go to Amazon and buy something is going to be high. I would not build my entire income around that whole the whole idea of sending traffic to them, right? Unless that's just what you want to do. That's not necessarily going to build your business. And so more than anything else, if you already have a list, this is wonderful. If you don't, your focus still ought to be building your list. Right now, let's talk about your Amazon influencer account. An Amazon influencer account allows you to use the Amazon website to build a storefront. You're going to have traffic to keep it open. So in other words, I think I did this as a way of teaching the concept. And I just got an email from Amazon saying, hey, you know what? We haven't seen you drive any traffic to this store. So either you start driving some traffic or we're going to close it. So again, so don't open it if it's just going to lie dormant. If you're gonna open it, make sure you drive some traffic to it. Getting approved is going to be based on your social media following. I'm going to show you that here in a minute. It may be based on your activity on those social media accounts. So it may not be enough if you have a bunch of followers on Twitter. The algorithm may be looking for whether or not you're active, whether or not you've been active recently, because they want to be able to leverage your traffic. It's best if you use, and I just talked about this a minute ago, if you already have a list. This really, your first priority still has to be building your list. This is an income strategy, right? It's a way to monetize your list. But if you don't have a list yet, you should be building that list by any means necessary. Right now, because again, what you're basically doing is you're putting people inside of the Amazon marketing funnel. Right now, more than likely, people are already in the Amazon marketing funnel, so you're not giving them new customers. Basically, what you're probably doing is you're probably papering over somebody's affiliate link. But again, this does not build up your business, right? So again, this should not take the place of building your list. It is a way of monetizing existing lists, and it can be. Now, I know that that a lot of people have talked about this, and you're looking for ways to monetize your social media following, it can't do that for you. Right. So again, I'm talking primarily about using PLR video, but I just kind of want to say that at the outset. I know a number of you have fan pages, you have groups, and it can be difficult to get people to buy things from inside your group. It can be difficult to get people to buy things from a fan page if you're having that trouble. One of the things that you can do is drive people to your store where they're not only are they likely to find what you're sending them for, but they're likely to find something on Amazon, right? So again, once again, that this is not the focus of this. I'm talking about how to use your PLR video primarily, but it's if you already have this, you and I know a number of people who do this, right? I know a number of people who have big PLR, big followings or growing followings. But they're struggling with, well, how do I get people to buy things, right? How do I get people to click on things that will make me money so I can keep operating this group or Instagram, whatever the case is, and you can use your influencer account for that purpose. Because basically, what you were doing is you were getting people cookied for Amazon products, right? That's basically what you are doing. I'm going to talk about a few ideas for using your PLR with this influencer store. Um, we talked about the resources guide. Now, one thing I want to say here is that with Amazon, you were not allowed to put your associate links inside of your PDFs, right? So whatever you have, it's got to be on a website. It's got to be up and running. So they don't want people clicking on links from PDFs and going to the influencer store or buying stuff as an affiliate. They want this online. So just so you'll know that. Um, Another thing that you can do now, you have PLR video from us. Maybe you have, let's say, some of our PLR videos on Microsoft, right? You can use the tutorial as a review of the product. So let's say that what you're going to do this in reverse. So instead of getting people to watch the video in order to experience the course, you're going to start with the product, right? So let's say that what you're trying to do is you're trying to get people to look at Microsoft Office 365. Well, you're going to use the course in order to get people clicking on your link. So again, use the tutorial as a review of the product instead of using the product to monetize just the tutorial. Okay, so one of the things you can add in bumpers to your videos with your store URL, right? You'll see that here in a minute. Mention your store as part of your branding. Include your remade PLR videos. Now, again, this is something you can do inside your store. You'll see this here in a minute. If you're going to remake your PLR videos, you do not need to have you do not need to be the originator of the content to place your videos on Amazon Video Direct, right? You don't have to be the originator. And again, I think I explained that this morning in a video that I did. You can actually have a license, right? So you can use PLR in this case. Now, most everything on Amazon you're going to be placing there, you do need to be the original creator, which means you would have to do it all over again. However, that's not the case with Amazon Video Direct. You can have the license to the video in order to place it on that platform. Your Kindle books do have to have original content. They should be inside of your store. Anything that you have written on Create Space should be inside of your store. If you have workbooks for some of your workshops or your webinars, if you're doing that, you're publishing them on Create Space, those should be inside of your store. Publish books. Now, I want to come back to this. Let me go back to this for a second. If you are doing a webinar and you're going to have a physical guide, and that's a great strategy to use. You can put those inside of your influencer store, have people buy them from your influencer store, and what's going to happen is you're going to get paid for selling your product, and you're also going to get paid a commission on top of that for driving people to your store. So you're going to be double dipping a little bit, which Amazon encourages. Right. So just so that you understand that. So again, I want to explain this to you with Create Space or even with Kindle. You have something that you published. If somebody just went straight to your buy page and they bought your guide, you would then get paid as a result of them buying that guide, your guide. However, you can also get them to buy the guide and you can get paid as an affiliate also if they go through your store, right? Or if they go through your affiliate link. So it is a way for you to get both in that case. Anything that you're doing in terms of audiobooks, right? And then now one of the things that I am seeing a lot of, if you are purchasing PLR and you are going to be purchasing PLR, let's say you're going to be purchasing journal-based PLR, and you're going to buy something niche specific, one of the things that I would really encourage you to do is to make a niche specific journal, right? Make a niche specific journal. One of the things I've thought about doing is, a PLR creators journal or a PLR users journal, right? Using some of the PLR and actually creating my own journal and placing that journal inside of the inside of my CreateSpace CreateSpace store. Whatever you do inside of CreateSpace, make sure that you have that inside your influencer store. Okay, now, okay, so let's kind of go through the let's go through this a little bit and let's take a look at the influencer store here. And okay, so here is the influencer program. I'm going to put this link inside of the inside of the chat box here that you can find it. Right? So I just placed that link inside of the chat. So the influencer program allows you to basically get approved to have a storefront. Now, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need to have an active YouTube channel, right? Or something where there's something going on. They will allow you to connect with Facebook. And that is not that's not what I used, right? You can get approved in real time if you use YouTube, excuse me, or Twitter. But if you use Facebook or Instagram, it's going to take a few days, right? It says up to 5 days. Now, I gather you're going to need to have some kind of active presence on Facebook or on Instagram in order to use the influencer store for that purpose, right? Basically, I'm gonna click the get started here, right? And let's click get started. And then all you're going to do is you're going to click this link that's going to send them to whichever channel you're going to be using in order to get approved. Right now, I'm gonna open up my own here. All right, and let's take a look at the actual channel. So here's the inside of my channel, and you're going to see here. I'm going to give you the URL. And I'm going to place this inside of this chat box here. There's not a lot there right now. We're going to put something there in this session, right? So there's my influencer channel. Actually, that's a wrong URL. So let's put this here again. That was a bad URL. Okay, so there's the right URL if you want to click on that. Okay, so basically what we are doing here, and it's a really simple process, right? You're going to build a storefront. Right now, my storefront's really simple right now, as I did this as part of a course, right? But basically, what you would do is obviously you're going to brand this. Right now, I'm going to rebrand this with, excuse me, what I'm going to be doing locally. I'm going to change. I'm going to change this to Harper Academy. Right, so I'm going to change all that, but you can do this however you want, and then save it. What you're going to do here inside of the influencer store is this, right? So here's the inside. What you're going to do first, excuse me, what you're going to do first is you're going to create an idea list, right? So we're going to give our list a name. And in this case, I'm going to call this Microsoft Office products. Then I'm gonna write in here how to use Office 365 for your business. Right? And then I've got a list created. So now what I need to do is I need to add products as I find them. So what am I going to do here? Well, I'm going to go here and basically I'm going to find Microsoft Office 365. I'm gonna find one of those products. And let's say that, okay, here's something, right? Microsoft Word 2016 quick reference guide, right? Windows version. So maybe I want to add that, right? So what am I going to do here? So I'm going to go to this product and we're going to scroll down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to my list, right? Let's get rid of that there. I'm going to add this to a list. You can see it down there on the right-hand side. It's going to take a little bit here. Okay, and so I'm going to scroll down, and here's my list. There's the list I just built. And basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add this to this list. So now that list is now added to Microsoft Office products. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my influencer store here. And let's just refresh this here. And then here is my product here. Right? So now I'm going to go back to my store and just make sure it's going to appear here. And let's go to our storefront here. Okay, so there's my storefront now. And here I've got something that says Microsoft Office products, as well as build your audience and expert list, right? So again, and let's click inside of this side of the product of the list. Okay, so let's take now this link and I'm going to put this inside of the chat box. So what I'd like to see is if we can be specific about the list, and we can. So what you can do is you can build different lists and you can send people to the list that you're building. Right now let's go inside of the list. And let's now take this specific product that we've clicked on. And then let's put that inside of this chat box and see if the URL renders. Right? Okay, so that URL renders correctly. So what we've done now is we've created a link where we're going to get credit when someone clicks this link specifically through our store. Now, what do we want to do here? Well, one of the things we want to do is I'm going to go inside of, let's say, I'm going to go inside of one of my practice websites here. And what I want to do with this website, and let's see, is excuse me, boy, I'm really hoarse. I want to build out a redirect, right? I want to build out a redirect so that when I use that URL, I'm basically going to be able to then add that URL to a link that's a little more manageable, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write in here MSoft, right? And I'm going to do this for a specific product. I'm going to click add link. It's going to take a little while here because I've got so much open. And then there's my link. So I'm going to right click this link. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add this to the chat box. And so basically then this link is then associated. Okay, so it didn't like that URL. Right? Didn't seem to like that URL. So it doesn't seem to like that URL. Let's see what happens when we click this URL. YouTube did not like that URL. Let's see what happens when we click this. Okay, well, it still renders correctly. Let's see what happens when we go using, um, let's see what happens when we use a Internet Explorer browser or Edge browser. And let's place in there the short URL and see if it redirects to, okay, so it does redirect to a URL where we're going to get credit, right? So again, this is a way for you to be able to monetize your just about anything, right? Your social media presence, but mostly, I suggest that if you have old PLR videos that you're not using, that first you bumperize those videos. So add a bumper so that when you upload it to YouTube, it's going to be unique. Then you go through this process of being able to create links inside your influencer store. Now, you're going to have to get approved for your influencer store. But remember, when people start buying things, you're going to get credit for all the other stuff they buy on Amazon. Right. So, lastly, I just want to kind of say again, I don't think this should be your primary strategy. I don't think this should be your primary make money online strategy. However, I mean, if you have a bunch of people and they are someplace and you're looking for a way to, for number one, give them value, right? So if you actually go and find the products that are going to benefit them, you're going to find a way for them to get the stuff that you talk about in your training, then I think then that this is a win-win. It's a way for them to get directly. Let's say that you're recommending mics, right? For Camtasia. You want to send them to a specific mic. You can do that. I mean, I've done that, right? I've talked about specific mic that I believe in. Then you want to have that mic on Amazon. And when somebody goes to buy that mic, you're gonna get credit for them buying that mic and anything else they buy, right? So, excuse me. Boy, I am really hoarse. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? All right. Okay. Sorry for my being hoarse and a little rusty, right? A little rusty at doing um doing the weekend Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Once again, you can get our PLR resource bundle at the plrshow.com/new. If you are not part of our daily newsletter where we talk about PLR every day, you can pick that up or you can put your name and email address there at the plrshow.com, right? So if you're already part of our newsletter, you don't need to do that. But if you're watching this on YouTube and you are not getting our daily newsletter, sign up there. And again, we do talk about PLR every day. We do our notifications at facebook.com/groups/the PLR show. So if I'm doing a call, I will place the link there. I will sometimes put the replays there also. And then make sure that you are connected to me at our at our training channel. You can be connected at youtube.com/green mindshare. And then if you need additional PLR video, right, you can get those at plrexperts.com, where my partner and I, Jonathan Tang, we put together videos on a weekly basis. And we will be doing that again starting the first week in January 2019. All right. And then also again, now if you already have PLR, right? And what you're trying to do is you're trying to figure out, well, how can I make that PLR unique? One of the ways you can do that is you can do what I've been talking about, which is to add bumpers. And an easy way to add bumpers to those videos or to create the bumpers, there is a product here that you can actually get a hold of at least until midnight tonight at a launch price that will help you. You can do that at the plrshow.com/add to your PLR. And again, up until midnight, I think it's still at the launch price. You can get it there. All right. So, any questions? Any questions? All right. Yep. Just reach out to me, Jim. All right. Any other questions? So, hopefully, now that you've seen this, right, you can go ahead and get your influencer account. Um, You can go ahead and get your influencer account. Okay, Jim's you're asking for the URL. It is. Let me write this in here. Okay, yep. The best way is still going to be our support desk. I'm pretty much running it until I guess Sydney will be back mid December. She might be helping me out this time, but I don't know. But yeah, but I pretty much keep track of everything on the support desk now. Right. So any other questions? Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight, and hopefully, if you get your influencer store, please go to the group and then share your URL with me. Right, share your URL with me inside of the group. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a thread in there, and I'd like to see if anyone's going to follow through and actually get their Amazon influencer store. All right. So thanks, everybody. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.